Okay. Hashtag wow, hashtag now. And today, um, I think it's time that I explain why is it that I don't do any reviews on public domain horror films. And honestly, I want to, especially one was called like Popeye the Slayer Man, because I do love Popeye. It'd be interesting what they do a take on his character. And that's when it comes down to it. Nothing. They do nothing with his character. It's just Popeye and he kills people. I mean, they tried to do some things. Have someone called olive oil there. They had the spinach, but otherwise, they don't do anything with these characters. That's what bothers me. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. That I thought would be an interesting concept if they did a horror film on that one. But again, they don't do anything with it. They try to do something with it, but they have the introduction. And even the introduction makes absolutely no sense. Now, I know some people out there are going to be saying, oh, look, calm down. None of this stuff is canon, but if you're going to do a story based on any of these public domain characters, you should do it based on these characters. Otherwise, why bother? Blood and Honey, I don't like the way the characters look. I don't like the exposition why they turn evil. And honestly, it would probably be better off to say these people were, I don't know, loners on an island, and the only breeding material they had was Winnie the Pooh, and they grew up as kids. They were kids originally, and over time they became adults that became murderers or something. I don't know. That would have made more sense. I never felt like they were the Winnie Pooh characters. What was the other one? Steamboat Willie. I mean, I don't know what you're going to do with that one. It was a Disney short with Mickey Mouse whistling while he's navigating a ship, and that's pretty much it. Popeye, again, they didn't run nothing. He's not even a sailor man. He's not even a sailor. Why? Then why bother? He's a deformed kid, fine. It starts out he's deformed, he's different. But other than that, they never do anything with him. Now, I'm going to show you a good example. What Zinscope was a comic book that did Grim Fairy Tales back in the days when they got darker, but they didn't put their own spin on it. To me, that made more sense. Is it exactly like the original characters? Not exactly like the original characters, but close enough. It felt like they actually want to do something with these particular characters. My favorite is what they deal with Wonderland. They talk about they have like several generations of Mad Hatters. They talk about Wonderland being this cursed place, and where you had to sacrifice a child. Again, that's where Alice comes in. I mean, again, yeah, I know it's not exactly the same story. Wonderland. People are questioning if it's either real or it's just really an imagination of a little girl. Most likely it's probably an imagination of a little girl. But again, you can see, yeah, even though they take some creative licensing to it, you still get the feel that this is Wonderland. They take some gruesome turns, a lot of blood, a lot of death. Even try to come up with some origin stories of certain characters, Tweedledee, Tweedledum. Was people, again, a lot of these people from the real world that eventually went into Wonderland and either became cursed. Sometimes in a good way, sometimes in a bad way. But like I said, Tweedledee and Tweedledum was based on one person who wanted to be proud of his son, but at the same time had anger towards his son for out of jealousy of what the person he used to be or person he could have been. And he got split into the Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Some characters become powerful. There's some new characters. But again, it felt like they did a lot more with it. They got more creative with it. Even the fact that Alice even had a daughter. But getting back on track, I don't like these public domains. I felt like if you're going to take a public domain character, to make it based on that character. Make Popeye a sailorman. He's a sailorman in the cartoons, the comics. Yeah, I know it's not really Popeye, but again, if you're going to do someone based on that character, then make it based on that character. Make him a sailorman. I don't know. How about this? Or make it a slasher film. Popeye was in World War One. Have him, I don't know, punch Nazis or something, or whatever was in World War One. I don't know. Okay, it wasn't Nazis. That was World War Two. Sorry. Don't correct me in the comic section. But the point is, let him really, if you guys, the character punches people a lot, show what that will look like in real life. What would it look like if Popeye actually did punch someone that hard? Or how about this? We talk about modern day times where everything's electronic, it's barely any, and people don't like masculine men. How about show them that, and make it a satire like that? The idea that Popeye is an analog masculine man, and he thinks at the time he's isolated because people don't need him anymore, until they realize, well, they need him, which is actually a good satire, because Popeye in the original cartoon or even the comic books, people shunned him until they needed him. What the real Velma, not that that other show, but Velma once said, "They love us, they hate us until they need us." That's what I mean. Have a nice satire and stuff. Stay true to the character, and that's why I don't do public domain horror reviews, because I could barely get through one of them. It just, yeah, they can be scary when they want to be scary. I'll give them that. They can be gory when they want to be gory. I'll give them that too. But otherwise, it's just boring. You're just generic. It makes no sense. It's the usual, hi, we're dumb teens. Ah, dumb. Let's have sex. Okay, I do appreciate the show. Well, adult stuff. Fine. I'll give them that. But otherwise, it could literally be any other character. Just have a character, they can just make something up. But please, if you're going to do a public domain character, whether it's gore or something G-rated, make it based on that character. And again, I don't care if this is not counted as canon. It feels like it's missing the point. When you want to do a public domain character, do it based on the character, or why bother? So please, do it right. Have fun with it. Be creative. If you have the rights to these characters now, then show how excited you want to do a story about these characters. At any rate, that's my thoughts. So unfortunately, until they come up with a good public domain character and do it right, I'm not going to do any reviews on them. I just don't get it. But what are your thoughts? Do you believe that Zenscope did it right? Do you even know what Zenscope comics even are? Or do you believe, you know what, it doesn't matter. It's, again, write comments below, and let's see if I get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. And I hope your day sucks a little less.